my God, this is going to be so controversial. If you've worked with a bad agency, it may have been your fault that things didn't go well. And I know that sounds crazy, but today I'm going to be talking about the hidden problem that occurs when brands get in their own way. And I'm going to come at this from the agency's perspective and the brand owner perspective because I've been both. I've worked with bad agencies, I've worked with good agencies, I now own my own agency, and I feel like I have a pretty unique perspective coming into this. So just to immediately call out the elephant in the room, most e-commerce founders I've talked to have been burned by agencies. And I get it. I'm not defending the bad ones, but I want to talk about why the good ones still get hated on. And yes, there are shady agencies. Yes, there are lazy agencies. Yes, there are people that should have no business running their own agency. But there's another side that nobody here is talking about. Let's talk about the reputation problem that agencies have. They usually have bad communication, they promised you the world and you got nothing in return, the reporting sucks, there's no transparency, the results are skewed in the agency's favor, there's no overarching strategy, you feel like they're just pushing buttons, and the big one, there's no results. And just to clarify the angle I'm going for, again, I am not defending these guys. I'm defending the agencies that actually do it right. So there are three types of agencies. The first ones are the ones that are too small to really know what they're doing. And these are usually the people that have just bought a course. They usually say yes to everybody that has a paycheck where they say, hey, can you do social media management? Yes, I can do social media management. Hey, can you do meta ads? Yeah, I can 100%. Can you do Google ads? Sure, yeah, 100%. They say yes to everything. Right? When really they specialize, and by specialize, I mean they're okay at one, maybe two things. Then there's agency two. These are the agencies that are too big to care about your business. And this usually entails you talking to a salesman who usually has a quota they need to hit. And also, as soon as you work with him or you get woo-wooed by that salesman, they pass you on to a junior marketing associate. That sucks. And then there's the third agency, and that is the agency that specializes in the exact problem that you're trying to solve. And this is an agency that has clear ICPs on who exactly they can and can't help. Again, I'm getting to my point, but to talk about what a good agency looks like, it's clear communication, and I'm talking weekly calls, daily Slack messages, proactive updates, transparent reporting. They're not cherry picking their ROAS with specific screenshots, and I can't tell you how important that is later on. A good agency has strategy on not only one level, but two levels. So there's the 30,000 foot overview. They understand what the KPIs are. They understand the 3-month goal, the 6-month goal, the 1-year goal, the 2-year goal, the 5-year goal. Are you planning for an exit? Do you want to be the billion-dollar business in this space? And then the granular, let's get down and dirty, what's working on a daily basis. And again, just to summarize this all down, you're just seeing consistent improvement, right? And even if the performance dips a little bit, you're seeing iteration, not silence. This brings me to the part where brands get in their own way. And I'm picking up a pen for this because it's important and I want you to listen to me. And I read something that if you hold a pen, you'll listen better. So agencies want happy clients. Duh, who wouldn't want happy clients? But they do this at the risk of the client's business being harmed. And a perfect example of this, I told you I was going to go back to the cherry picking ROAS. These agencies will chase the highest ROAS possible just to keep their client happy. And I'm not saying a high ROAS is bad. A 5x ROAS on small spend looks great. But if the plan is to go from $10,000 a month in spend to $50,000 a month in spend, and we have a clear 2-month plan on how to do that, and then once the ROAS drops from 5x to 3.7 or 4x, and instead we're spending $50,000 a month, a founder can look at the drop in ROAS and think,
oh, this agency isn't doing their job.
And then the founder usually fires the agency. And that's the problem with the agency model in general, is if tax season happens, if there's one bad month, guess who gets cut first? It's usually the agency. Now, if you as a founder had somebody on full time and you had a 6-month strategy and you're working with a marketing in-house person and you guys had one bad month, would you fire that in-house marketing person? Probably not. And so what these founders will do is they will look at one bad month or maybe 2 bad months, right? Maybe this is a huge overlap. We need to fix a ton of things, right? And they'll say,
oh, these guys suck. They don't know what they're doing.
There's two sides to every coin. If you're working with an agency for 3 months and nothing's changed or you feel like nothing's happening, kick them out. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is not because the agency is bad. but because the founder and the agency aren't aligned on the actual goals and, more importantly, the strategy behind those goals. If the founder isn't open to scaling logic, long-term testing, or reinvesting profit, even a great agency is going to look bad. Founders, you need to trust your team. Agencies, you need to be the team that the founder can trust. Running an e-com brand or any business in general is like running a restaurant. If you don't trust the chef, nothing's going to get cooked right. If your car's making a weird noise, you take it to the mechanic and then you stand over the mechanic's shoulder the entire time while they're looking at your car. That's not a great way to do something, especially when the mechanic has looked at hundreds, if not thousands of cars before you pulled up into their parking lot. The best agencies are always going to function as an extension of your team. And when these founders micromanage every ad decision, like, I get it, this is your business, this is your baby, but if you're going to stand over the shoulder of like a team that has done this a ton of times, you're going to block the flow of not only strategy, but progress. Now, if you know you have a good agency, then this trust is going to allow this agency to move fast, test creative angles without this quote unquote red tape, and scale spend when the data is saying it's time to scale spend, right? And without that trust, founders are going to end up struggling. And without that trust, you're just going to end up strangling the growth out of fear. Again, that takes me back to the cherry picking ROAS. Agencies want to show you the best ROAS because agencies are scared of your fear, right? Because your fear is going to kick them out and they say, oh my gosh, I just lost one of my recurring revenue clients. When really I should have been doing this to grow the business, but I was scared of doing this because the founder is so nitpicky about everything. Another thing you need to realize is if you're going to hire a solid in-house marketer or a specialist in one area, like i.e. like the buzzwords a media buyer, that's going to cost you $80K to $150K a year if it's somebody who knows what they're doing. And if you're a good business owner, plus benefits, payroll, taxes, training, benefits, management overhead. And for that same budget, an agency, again, that knows what they're doing, you get multiple specialists. These are people, like these agencies have gone through the dirty work. I can't tell you how many recruiting agencies we've worked with to find the top talent. For Meta, for Google, for email, for CRO, for SEO, for content creation. Good agencies, again, they have battle-tested systems and SOPs to make sure that they're squeezing the juice out of their entire team to get the most, because me, as an agency owner, also, I want to keep you on for a long time. Best way to do that is to actually get you good results. Best way to get you good results, actually hire talent that has a proven track record of getting those good results. Agencies are usually going to be cheaper, faster, and just a great way to get a whole marketing department that knows what they're doing. I can promise you that most good agencies aren't experimenting on you. They're bringing playbooks that have worked for dozens and dozens and dozens of brands. We've seen what works at 10K a month in ad spend, what works at 50K a month in ad spend, what works at 500K a month in ad spend, what works at 1.5 million a month in ad spend. Like we have stress tested creative strategies, bidding models, funnel setups, and you're paying for speed. You're paying to shortcut your learning curve. And it's not just advice. We're giving you market intelligence that's drawn from these active accounts. You can YouTube what's working. You can go on Twitter or X and figure out what's working. You can go on LinkedIn and see what's working. But we're in it every single day, right? We are the ones that are seeing this. We're getting the most live updates on trends through multiple brands compared to anybody else other than maybe Mark Zuckerberg himself. Not only that, but if something's working with one of our brands and you're an outdoor brand and we're working with 2 or 3 outdoor brands and we're getting a 10x here, a 7x here, and a 5x here for these 3 different types of brands with 3 different types of AOVs, then we can take what's working with our brands and put a little your brand twist on it, so we're sailing with the wind, not against the wind, in regards to what's actually resonating with the market. In-house teams, they have their place, but they can only see their own data. We get to see across industries, niches, spend levels. This is going to sound so egotistical, but it's like having a crystal ball, right? Like we know what's working in e-com right now. We are in it every single day with different spend levels, different businesses, different brands. They all want to scale. We know what works with each particular type of brand. And again, not every agency is going to have that. So you need to find the right one that does. So look, the partnership equation is real growth comes down to this. Agencies bring skills, systems, and perspectives. Founders bring the product, the brand vision, and the willingness to execute. One of our best brands is Bijou Build, and what makes us such a great partner is we do all the marketing and she does all the product design. She focuses on only making her product better and better and better and stockpiling add-ons to make her product even better and make her customers more happy. And then it's up to us to, again, bring the skill, the systems, and perspective to grow it. That's what makes a kick-ass partnership. And so if both sides lean into their strengths, the relationship ends up working. So yeah, bad agencies exist, right? I'm not here to tell you they don't. But the best ones can do more, faster, and often cheaper than the in-house hire or the freelancer. You have to trust who you bring on, right? Just like you trust your own team, right? And that's what makes a good partnership, is they are an extension of your own team. If you don't do that, your partnership is doomed from the start. So that's it. That's the video. If you got value, subscribe. If you need help with your marketing, click the link in the description. That's it. Talk soon. Peace.